You know, I wasn't entirely expecting it to boost us that far, but it did. So I'll just readjust this. I really just need to go retrograde, and this engine doesn't really have much fuel in it anyways. It's got like 93 left on the tank, so we'll just barely throttle up. I'm expecting it to cut out, but it may not. Boom. Okay. Now what I'll do is I will point prograde, because we are going to have to do a rendezvous with this. And I don't think that satellite has mech jeb, so I'm not even going to use it to dock. I'm just going to get close enough, kind of like what we did with our previous satellite thing. I think that was the Spartacus, wasn't it? It was either the Spartacus or the Atlas. Might have been the Atlas, actually, now that I think about it. Where we went and repaired it and came back with one of our old shuttles, in fact. That was quite fun. That was a good mission. But this one is a little bit more simple. It's just higher up in the orbit. Yeah, this thing only has 18 units of fuel left, so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and quick save, just in case, and ditch those. Good. Okay, now I want to ditch this. Good. I want to make sure my throttle is off. I'm going to activate everything. And we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. And 2 should be those. Yep. It's going to be our main throttle. We'll just get a little bit away from this. And that will be more than enough to get us all the way away. Perfect. The gears up because we don't need them anymore. Those will accelerate away from us. That will accelerate away from us. And now we should be able to quick save once again, just in case. But we're going to go all the way up over here and set up a new... Yeah, it's gone whizzing by. All right, that is fine. We have a method of fixing this. So this is the first maneuver we need to do, which is we're just matching as closely as we can with the orbit, like from above here, and then we'll match planes afterwards, because we're definitely not in the same plane, which is going to make this way more difficult. This maneuver is in 6 minutes, so we'll accelerate time. And I think I'll also turn on my main rockets just to make this a bit better, because it's 420 meters a second that we need to achieve. This may end up using quite a bit of our fuel too, so I got to keep that in mind. So I'm gonna keep this stage only on, and I want to burn as close to the node as possible here, so we'll get it down to 10 seconds. And a little bit more. Okay. Cool. And yeah, it looks a little wonky when you look at it that way, but we'll fix our plane. That's not too much of a concern. And go. Okay, so now we'll definitely need to focus our efforts on conserving as much fuel as possible here, but we do want to get all the way up. See, this is why I wanted to do this mission first, knowing that this one's going to be the most fuel limited one, getting a rendezvous with this sucker. So I understood ahead of time, which is why I chose this one as my first mission, and the Nimoy as a return mission, because that'll be a lot easier to do returning than it is to, you know, do it and then try to do this one. It's pretty good. We'll go with it. Now, what I need to do is go over here. And what is it, like right there-ish? I need to create a node, and I need to fix the plane. Is that, no, that's the other way. Which will also require quite a bit of fuel. Not as much as I feared, but more than I hoped for. I mean, we used about 1/8 of our fuel there, which it wasn't too bad, doing that really massive maneuver. Okay, so I now need to point this the right direction. Be fairly easy. Cool. And turn off my RCS because that is adjusting my orbit here. Okay, coming up real soon here. 2 minutes, 1 minute, in the seconds. One thing I did is I turned off the main rockets as a fuel conservation thing that I'm going to be doing. But the other thing I noticed here, and that I wanted to mention, is that because we're so high up in an orbit here, it's that fact that is making this going to be a little bit easier to rendezvous. Because all of the little tiny adjustments that we make a big difference. So the amount of fuel that we have to burn to, you know, get, say, our planes adjusted to the right, you know, orbital plane is the amount of fuel that we have to burn to do that is much less than, say, if we were trying to match planes with the Nimoy, which we will do once we are lining up our maneuver to get back. Okay, so that is fairly good. If I did this, and then if I pointed this way, just want to do a little bit more adjusting. Okay, that's good. Now I need to adjust my actual orbit here because it's a little wonky. So this one's a little bit more of a strange maneuver, but I'm matching my apoapsis and my periapsis, basically. It will mean that my orbit is more circularized. This is really unnecessary, but it is going to make it just a bit easier on me. Okay, so I do require my main engines. Turn those on this one. And then we wait for another 5 seconds, and then we burn. And that will make this way better for me. This one won't require as much fuel as, say, like our initial orbiting maneuver, but this one will definitely take up a lot more than the rest. Okay, so that's good. Now what I'm going to do, you see it like the apoapsis is close enough, right? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up this maneuver, which will then extend my thing that way. Right? I could possibly do that a bit. Yeah, that'll work. I need to point the right direction. I won't need my main engines for this one because I only need 43 meters a second. Okay, gotta slow down time so I don't overshoot it. But I do want to have it sped up a little bit. 2, 1, okay. Now I'm facing the right direction, correct? Yep. Okay, and here goes the burn. And this will make it so our orbit is bigger than the spark, which is good, because then we're moving faster, basically, which will allow us to catch up with it, because it's ahead of us. Yes, basic physics. So here's the thing that we do now. We just kind of watch both of the crafts, because that's, you know, it's still our target. I like how there's just debris from our initial maneuver. And we're going to... Oh, I guess it's the other way around. If it's ahead of us, we're moving... Right, so it's going to catch up to us. Okay, that's fine. It's going to work either way. Also, I do need to keep an eye on our timing here, because we're burning quite some amount of time. Which is it's fine. I just got to keep an eye on the days. Okay, this is catching up. Let's see what kind of maneuver I need to do here. So it'll be off over there in 1 day. Our crew have been up in the space for quite a while. They've been just chilling as they're waiting for this. I could have done that better being on the inside. I understand that, but oh well, what's done is done. Now we literally move forward. Fairly easy maneuver, nothing too fancy. Just a slow down maneuver. And then we slow down again when we get off over here, and then we work on actually rendezvousing, which is pretty easy. You just, like we did before, you just point at the target, you squirt the throttle a little bit, you wait to catch up, and then you adjust again. Okay, so now we're gonna go from over here, and we're gonna go add maneuver, and we're gonna slow down this way. And that puts us fairly close to it. Really close, in fact, that we're able to... I mean, it says, what, 86.1 kilometers away, but all we have to do is, like I said before, just point and squirt the throttle a little bit until we're ready to, gently scooch up on it so we can repair that comm thing on it. Okay, this one's a little less precise. We don't have to do it dead on. We just need to slow down enough. And once again, we're not using our main rockets because it's such a small maneuver that we don't really need to. It's just wasting a lot of fuel that we don't need to be wasting. I've got plenty of time up here. I'm not running out of anything. Okay, so if we get out of this, we can probably see it. It would be off over that. Oh, there it is. Okay, cool. So we need to flip like this. 62 kilometers away over there. And we are going to change this to target. So in relation to our target, we're only moving 5.7 meters a second. So we want to extend that. Because we don't know technically if we're moving away from it or closer to it. I think we're moving away from it. So, okay, let's get this as dead on as possible. A little bit more to the left. All right, looks like we were moving towards it. And I want to change this to maybe 100. Meters a second for my, relative speed. That may help out quite a bit. One thing to keep in mind when you're doing these kind of maneuvers is that for every meter per second you gain, you also need to lose that meter per second when you slow down. All things that need to be kept in mind. This is a long process, so I'm speeding it up. 3.5, 3.3, 3.2, 1. And we'll get it down to like 10 might be a good number. Maybe a bit lower than that. I think 10 might be a good number. It looks like we're above it a bit. So yeah, let's get to 10. Okay, so that will be 10 by the time we technically slow down. Okay, so we want to then do this. Reduce our relative velocity to the target. And again, the amount of time that it took me to speed up to 100 meters a second is that it's going to take the same amount of time to slow down 100 meters a second in relative velocity. So that's something to keep in mind. When you're preparing for these maneuvers, you want to do them early enough that you can adjust. Okay, so now we're going to switch, and we're going to point at the target again. Where is the target? In fact, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to point retrograde and just slow us down more. Because it's at that point where I'm just going a little too fast one direction. So I want to flip us around a bit quicker towards the target. And in order to do that, I need to slow down my relative speed. So again, we're pointing at the target. You can see that my prograde maneuver is now slowly moving towards the target, which is good. That means that we're moving in the direction that we want to go. Which means our retrograde maneuver will be close to where the target is as well. This time, about 65 meters a second is good enough, I feel. So now, once again, I'm going to flip retrograde, quick save. Always quick save, because you never know what'll happen if you get too close to a ship, and then maybe something weird freaks out, and then the Kraken explodes your ship, and you'll want to reload. The Space Kraken. Known bug. We haven't really experienced it thus far, which is very fortunate. All right, we're gonna speed up a bit. That's gonna get to there. 2, 1. Okay, now we're gonna slow down. And this is on our normal velocity that we're going. We're not slowing down relative to the target. But I do want to slow down a bit faster, so turn those on. Okay, now, once again, we find our target node, which is certainly over here. And we do the same thing we did before. This time we want to be going a lot slower. 20 meters a second is pretty good. I could be using RCS to maneuver here, and I have considered it, but I'm just using it to kind of slow down my maneuvers as I go. Because RCS does also thrust in weird directions as well, so you're changing your relative speed mildly, but it is still happening. Okay, 3, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Point back to the target, which is fairly easy to do because we can see it, so we can just maneuver my ship by looking at it more so than doing it other ways by using the compass. There we go. Go forward. That's pretty good, 10 meters a second. All right, let's flip retrograde again. So I want this number to be about 100. That would be really good for me before I start slowing down. You could kind of start seeing it in the little brackets that it's in, especially as we get closer to it with the sun reflecting off of it. You can kind of start seeing it's a really small little satellite, but it is definitely there. Okay, and slow down a bit more. Good. Now we need to point the target once again. I am going to turn on my lights. I almost forgot. We'll definitely need those as we get closer. Turn this up to like 5 should be good. I don't want to run into it, which I may, actually. I'm getting pretty close here. Ugh. There we go. At least we're not running into it, right? Okay, let's slow down our velocity. Okay. We're fairly close. I want to change my velocity to about 0 if I can. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Perfect. Okay. I don't know why that ladder's down. Oh, it's a beautiful shot with the moon back there. Nope. Ladder. Retract ladder. There we go. Boom. And it's like right in front of us. How beautiful is that? All right. This is, he's a scientist, which means he's, maybe we should do New Rod? Look, he came up here for 2 missions. No, I don't want an IVA. Actually, I do want an IVA. Thank you, New Rod. You are a lifesaver. No, I don't think the camera will really help too much, to be honest. I also am going to lift my nose up here. Because if I run into the sucker, because my nose is hanging down a little bit too much, I don't want that to happen. All right, EVA. Let's turn his lights on. He will need them. And I want you to let go. Turn on your little boosters. Oh, it's beautiful out here. Oh, this is so cool. I love this game. This is why I play this. For little moments like this. All right, can I just take that, pop it right off? I don't know if I can. There we go. Grab. Boom. Okay. Repairs underway. Nice. Look how easy that was. All right, so I'm gonna go up over here. And I'm gonna put him back in the shuttle. If I can. Grab on. Board. There we go. Tink, as it just bonks into us. Unfortunately, I don't have any toolboxes. That's the next iteration I need to add. Okay, well, it'll just be space debris out there, I guess. No, I could attach it to my ship. Aha! That's the plan. No, dang it, I did it again. EVA, not IVA. Oh, no, it's ballistic. It's gone. Can I get it? Okay, turn this on. Okay, down. Is that considered debris? Yeah, oh, no, come on. Down. No, up, backwards. It's not letting me click on it anymore. There it goes, grab, there we go. Wow, we got pretty far away from the shuttle. Oh, that is dangerous. I don't like that. Gotta make sure we don't do that anymore. All right, let's go back down. And then, what's my fuel like on this? Stage only. Oh yeah, I've got plenty of mono propellant here. All right, so I want to head down, and now I'm gonna attach this to the top of our craft. And boom. Oh, that's so rad. That was a good way to do it. I'm glad I didn't just leave space debris out there. All right, let's... I want to try and... actually, I probably should just put him back in. The space shuttle. Whoa, too much. Other way. Good. Still getting used to the controls. And forward. Board? No? Board? There we go. Cool. That thing totally doesn't really work. Whatever. It says it's moving. It's totally broken. See, this is why we came up here. All right, now what I want to do is I'm going to switch to this, and I'm going to take some pictures, and I'm going to take the data back with me, because that isn't something that we've gotten to do yet, which is great. But the question is, where do I start? I think we take a picture of this. This right here. This is just beautiful.